Roll Tide and welcome back to Bryant-Denny Stadium. We're inside the Advantage Center at our podcast studios. I'm Roger Hoover. Now, please be joined by Alabama running back Kevin Riley. And Kevin, Roll Tide, how's everything going in your first year with us here in Tuscaloosa?
Thank you. I want to first off thank you for having me on here. And everything's going good, for the experience of me being a freshman, getting to experience those home games with those huge fan bases. It's just electric. And, it's awesome getting to actually say that I'm at the University of Alabama playing football here. It means a lot. As you can see from fans and everyone in the state of Alabama, football is everything down here.
It really is, and for us, it's kind of rare to get to talk to somebody like you that grew up literally, here in town, in Tuscaloosa, Northport area. Have you always been a huge Alabama fan?
I wouldn't say I was a huge Bama fan growing up. It was kind of like I always just had favorite players growing up, like from each college team. But as of me standing in Tuscaloosa and being a Tuscaloosa kid, I would say, like, as the years came, I started to look at Alabama a lot more, and they became a huge team in my mind.
So who were some of those early favorite players you had?
Early favorite players, I love watching Derrick Henry, of course, Tua, Devontae Smith. There's a lot of players that was great and legendary that came through Bama that really stood out to me and brought to my attention.
Do you remember the first game you went to here as a fan?
First game I went to here as a fan, I think it was in 2014. I want to say I honestly forgot who we played, but I think it was in like 2014. It was like my first ever game.
It's pretty special to get to experience it as a fan throughout the last few years, and then the opportunity to suit up and play for the Crimson Tide is really remarkable. Just tell us a little bit about your athletic journey. What other sports did you play? When did football kind of went out for you?
Yes, sir. So as a kid, I was out with any sport, like dealing with the ball. I was always hands-on and great at it. So, I played multiple sports. I was a multiple sport athlete. I played baseball when I was younger, soccer, football, basketball. And I stopped playing those soccer and baseball. Those are kind of when I was like, I want to say elementary school, middle school kind of. And then I started getting into football around my 8th grade year of middle school. And that's when I kind of started taking football more seriously.
Were you running back even back then?
Yes, sir. Well, I would say I started off playing quarterback. I played quarterback in middle school, 9th grade year. My freshman year is when I first played running back. And then I got moved up to varsity, like the 4th game. Been playing running back since then.
Still have a pretty good arm, though. If they needed you, you can use a trick play or something like that?
They got me. They know I'm going to dot some players up. They know how I got them.
That's pretty good. So you play here locally for County High. What were some of your best moments in a County High uniform?
Some of the best moments, I could say scoring the game when the touchdown against Oak Mountain. That was our homecoming, too, so that was extreme. It was the last play of the game. Coach brought me in on the Wildcat play, put me in at QB. Crazy part about that play, I thought it was over because, like, once the center snapped the ball, it went above my head, and I had to, like, jump and reach for it. But once I got it in there. It was a great game. And we upset a lot of teams that year because a lot of people had their heads down on us, thought we really wasn't going to make it far, and we proved a lot of people wrong that year. And that was my junior year in high school, I see. So, yeah.
Had the recruiting process begun by that point?
Oh, yes, sir. I want to say probably around my 3rd or 4th game in that season is when my recruitment started to evaluate and become big. It's when, like, people started mentioning me on Twitter, posting videos on Twitter, like game clips and everything, and that's kind of when I started, people kind of brought more attention to it.
Did you enjoy all the attention that's starting to hear from all these coaches from all across the country?
Yes, sir, I did. Like I said, the recruitment process, it was enjoyable. I did enjoy it. It's a one-in-a-lifetime thing, so everyone has to enjoy it. You only get that one time. It's a one-time-in-a-lifetime thing, so, yeah. And it was great. It was amazing. That's what I can say.
Were you thinking about Alabama as you're starting to hear from all these other different schools and places, or where did Alabama kind of factor in for you?
In the recruitment process, I was talking to a lot of schools, and really it was just building up those connections at first. And I was committed to Miami, and I was with Miami for a good bit. I was with them for a couple months. Wouldn't say a full year, but it was close to a full year of me being committed to them. Bama, they started coming in towards the end of the picture. Is when we started, like, doing official visits and, like, really when the big games came in and, like, the big events came around in Tuscaloosa is when they really started evaluating more and becoming more in the picture.
What impressed you the most when you got to take a tour of the Mount Moore facility, Bryant-Denny Stadium areas you'd seen before, I'm sure, on cell phone or different things like that, TV, but when you actually got to be there, what impressed you?
What really impressed me is just seeing all the trophies in their trophy room. And another thing that stood out to me is everyone on their staff. Like walking through the building, each room, like a staff member, they're gonna make you feel welcome. They're gonna make you feel like you're the president walking through there. Like they make you feel like Nick Saban. So like everyone is nice. I mean, even the weight room is unbelievable. They got new weight racks, new weights, everything is labeled with Alabama A. I mean, everything stood out to me in that facility.
That's really good. Did the retirement of Coach Saban affect your recruitment at all and getting to know Coach DeBoer and his staff?
So when I got the news that Nick Saban retired, it kind of shocked me because it was like a week or two later we had went on an official. I mean, yeah, earlier we had went on an official visit, and it was kind of like he didn't mention it or kind of give us a hint or anything, so we wasn't expecting it, so it caught us by surprise. I was a little worried, kind of going into it and like what's gonna happen, who's gonna come in, and how things are gonna change. But something told me to just trust the process. And once I heard that Coach DeBoer was coming in, I was like, I feel like we're gonna be good. So I trusted the process, and we're doing great now.
When did you get to meet him?
I got to meet him, I want to say, the first day of practice. I want to say because I didn't move in the exact day. Everyone else moved in the summer. I moved in like 2-3 days later. So yeah, first day of practice, I'll say.
And how important was as well your decision to sign with Alabama Coach Gillespie and the fact that he stayed from the Saban staff to this staff?
It was important to me because of me building up that relationship with him. I know there was a couple coaches on the staff that did leave after Nick Saban retired, and what stood out to me about it was that like Coach G, he kept it real with me from the jump. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really show me two sides of the story, two sides of what's going on. He kind of set one point in and told me what it was from the jump, and I respect that. So.
And then how does he, now that you're part of the team, how does he lead you guys in that running back room?
Coach Gillespie, he coaches us hard, but everyone in the running back room respects him because we all know that he's been to the level we're on, and he knows what it takes to get there to the next level. So everyone in the room respects him. He can coach us hard at times, be a little overwhelming, but at the end of the day, we know that he just does it to get us better.
How was signing day for you? How special was that?
Signing day was crazy. It was shocking because a lot of people wasn't expecting it, but had to make the best decision for myself at the end of the day. But it was a good day. A lot of family came in town that day. Got to see a lot of friends.
How'd you have the table set up? How many hats or anything?
I'm gonna be honest. I only had one hat on the table. Yeah, I didn't play a trick game. I didn't want it to be that type of signing day. So I just made everything simple, sweet.
That's certainly good. So you make that decision. You get to work here in the summertime, and I'm getting ready for fall camp. What impressed you the most about, or what was, I guess, the most difficult transition of going from being an elite high school football player to now all of a sudden you're one of many elite players that are all trying to get on the field for the Crimson Tide?
Really, a big change that I seen or felt was that coming from high school, you get to do what you want basically on the field, like. Because you're the only best player out there. Not saying I was the only best player out there because, like, I'm a humble person. Like, we had a lot of good people on our high school team. But transitioning from that to college is you're competing with people that's on the same skill level as you every single day. And the coaches, they're going to coach you harder. They're going to make sure you do stuff at a faster pace, faster tempo. So it's just the transition from high school. It's just everything's just faster pace. You're more disciplined. And that's what I can say. You got to learn to be more disciplined. A lot of new techniques that I learned from college to high school, and it's just a huge change all around.
I think everybody, when they think about running backs and the work they got to do to get on the field, all they think about is just running plays and being a ball carrier. How much of an emphasis is there in blocking for you?
We talk about blocking every day. Blocking is like one of our main topics. And one of the things our Coach Gillespie always tells us is that in order for us to have a big run, you got to have a big blocking play. Like, comes blocking, comes big runs. So, like, even in meetings, at practice, we always go over blockings. Even if we got a little short period of time, we'll go over some sort of technique, watch a couple clips of blocking, and where to be on certain plays and blocking. So, I mean, blocking is a huge thing when it comes to playing running back. It's not just about running because you have to protect the QB at all times. And one of the things about being a running back, being a great running back is being a great eraser. You know what I'm saying? So
That's certainly a huge part of it. Fans have gotten to see a lot of Jam Miller, Justice Haynes on the field. You get to see them on only on the practice field, behind the scenes as well. What kind of work are they doing to make sure they're good to go and at their best on Saturday?
Jam Miller and Justice Haynes, they're great people, great running backs. I look up to those guys at practice. They work very hard. You know, when Justice is not in and Jam is in, you look to the side, you see Justice working on his cuts, going down the field, doing spin moves, just things to stay active. When Justice is in and Jam is out, you see Jam asking questions, seeing what's going on. So I'll say both of them are really dialed into what they're doing, and their work ethic is amazing. Like, they compete each and every day. They help out if needed. And since I'm a younger guy, they make sure to always help. If I'm having trouble with something, they don't hesitate to help me, hesitate to correct me. And that's why I respect those guys as being older guys and people I look up to in the running back room.
And they've certainly helped you guys out as well, not just you, but also you look at what Richard Young's been able to do, and then Hill as well. I mean, you guys got some opportunities to play, starting with the Western Kentucky game. How special was it? I mean, that had to be a little bit of an overwhelming day, your first day in uniform for the Tide, and then you get to play.
Well, I can't say that day it was exciting. It was exciting for multiple people. That day it was actually my mom's birthday. That game, so getting on the first game, getting to get in on my mom's birthday, it meant a lot. Actually getting to feel what it feels like to step on the field for the first time and carry the ball in your hands. Rush for a couple yards, something like you wouldn't think of, like you'll be there. Like, it happens so quick. It comes, but it's amazing though, like, for that experience, and I'm only working to get on the field more because, like, that feeling is amazing.
It really is, and the vibe in the stadium is so cool. And then you had to love as well what we just saw this past Saturday against Georgia. The crowd was electric.
It was. Walking into the tunnel, you can just feel the stadium rumbling, feel the field shaking. And once you run out, look around, it's electric. Like, lights are out, everyone. All you see is crimson, red, and white. Not too many just red and black. But nah, that atmosphere was wild. Like, I feel like every seat in that stadium was filled up. And
then how about the post-game celebration as well? How electric was that locker room after the game?
Oh, after the game, it was wild. Everyone, even before the game, the mindset of going into the game was, hey, we're not backing down. We're finna let them know Bama is the standard. So everyone's mindset going into the game was, hey, we're finna go out there, give it all we got, work as a team. And once we came out with that dub, got back in the locker room, we knew to ourselves that Bama hasn't changed. We're still the standard. We knew that whole week at practice what we were gonna do. We knew the game plan. We knew how we were gonna come and react to adversity. We knew how we was gonna come out and start the game. So after the game, it was just excitement. Everyone was proud, no disappointment.
It's really exciting to see that. And then for you guys as well, you know that it's just another game, a long part of this journey for this football team. And the very next step in the journey is coming up Saturday in Nashville against Vanderbilt. How did the Sunday practice help refocus you guys for next week?
Sunday practices, it helped us refocus. It's more, our Sunday practices is more of just focusing on just correcting things, So it's more of like dialed in plays and more of not really getting into like our new stuff yet, but just more dialed in things and just getting back in the groove from our last game, kind of just getting loose, basically.
So for you, what's going to be your point of emphasis over the next few weeks, continuing to help this football team and continuing to grow as a football player?
Really, as a younger guy, I'm going to be helping out the team a lot, especially the older guys that are going to be in on the field more, seeing things that they probably don't see, and when they get back on the sideline, letting them know what I see, helping them when they're messing up on any type of drills or anything, just being one of those younger guys that always come in and let them know what they need help on or need to fix on that they don't see that I see.
Well, you're off to a good start. Kevin Riley, thank you so much for the time you've given us here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Best of luck. We'll look forward to seeing you on the field again soon. Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Roll Tide.